Hi, my name is Marco Saavedra, and we are here at La Morada restaurant in the South Bronx. I'm the waiter here, and this is my family's Oaxacan restaurant for the past 15 years. We started in '09 amidst the economic recession. Really, my folks and most of my family being undocumented, there was really no other way to find a job, so we decided to give ourselves jobs by opening this restaurant. I myself received political asylum in 2021, but amidst the pandemic, the global COVID pandemic, when we had to shut down in March of 2020, we kind of decided as a family to start giving out mutual aid meals to provide nutrition to our neighbors here in the South Bronx, to contribute to like one of the global epicenters that was happening here in the South Bronx. And so we started doing on average, we do about 500 meals a day. Right now, we're giving a lot of meals to recently arrived refugees from West Africa, South and Central America, and obviously starting from the pandemic and continuing on through the generous grants and help of a lot of neighbors, friends, and allies. And at the same time, highlighting Oaxacan food. We're from San Miguel Ahuehuetitlan, which is an indigenous Mixteca town in Mexico. And so obviously it's known for its wide variety of moles, and at the same time a mutual aid food hub where folks can be served not just on what they can afford, but more on what they're based on their need. Because my family crossed the border in 1992, 1993, and we came here with nothing, barely any family here in New York, and so we've known what it's like to be facing unhospitality, not having a place to stay, a place to work, knowing where your next meal will come from. And so we don't want to recreate that paradigm of immigrants come here, suffer, and then contribute to the economy, but rather what like our name La Morada means is both the color purple, but it also means a shelter and abode, a resting place where someone can come here and be welcomed. Again, not based on what you can afford, but based on need. And do a paradigm shift. And this is happening also in the food industry because, again, during COVID, a third of all restaurants in New York City closed down. And so we had to like shift models, not based so much on this like precarious food system, but more on a mutually beneficial, ecologically sound food system. So what I'm holding in my hand is the Sisters of the Milpa. So the three sisters of the corn being maize, beans, and squash. And this is the third in that recipe set. My mom, Natalia, these are her recipes. This one in my hands is all bean recipes. So they're family recipes passed down orally. And she worked with the CUNY Graduate Center to publish this. This was published locally here in Brooklyn. It's a risograph print. So it's recycled paper with rice-based ink, which is kind of the most ecologically sensitive one. And it features some of my artwork here immersed or intertwined with her recipes. A lot of these meals have gone out to the community as part of like our mutual aid program, and a lot of these, like the green beans, these ones here are purple, but were donated locally from farms in the Hudson Valley. So we try to source locally and also work with community to make these efforts work out. And so we're gonna hope to print out a volume with all three recipe books. This is our mutual aid zine. It was created by our student volunteers at the New School who worked with us for a year during the pandemic. And it showcases a lot of the interview quotes of people that were part of our mutual aid efforts and have continued to be a part of it. This is our community garden at 678 Bruckner Boulevard, which is going to reopen this fall. So that's exciting. And so we source a lot of like our herbs and whenever we can peppers and garlic from there. We haven't had it this growing season, but it's going to come back soon. And again, just some of the stories from our mutual aid and our mutual aid values of sharing with community, growing together, cooking together, eating together, and cohabitating together. And inside you'll see some of like my artwork that the students were gracious enough to feature. So we like having both the art go with the nutrition, not just feeding our bellies but also our soul. So again, my personal credo is that art is agency, so art is our ability to do, and I don't think you could be any more political than that, which is to see something new, to enact a vision, to be empowered to create. I think it's the most radical thing that a human being can do, and I think it's within all of us, right, this ability to create. And that's why I'm fortunate enough to feature some of my artwork on the walls here. A lot of these pieces were Well, they all I paint plein air, which means on site. Like I go out and paint in nature. So you see a lot on our walls irises and magnolias from our community, and also my mom's book cover on the other wall. Um, that was not plein air, so that was a new venture for me. But obviously, the food goes hand in hand with the art, like feeding our souls, feeding our bodies, and also I think it's part of like our political mission to be authentically real and genuine with our cuisine, but also authentically real with our creativity, and that they all cohabitate, like the daily necessity of the bread of every day, and then also with the bread, the roses of the beauty that we need to keep our souls sustained. So we invite other folks to help us volunteer. Our usual volunteers hours are Monday through Wednesday, 10 to 2 p.m. And people help us from folding our zines to doing meal prep to distributing meals. Honestly, we've been impressed by the help and the vision that our neighbors, allies, students have provided. Because really everyone can contribute to this effort, everyone can give, because everyone eats, everyone knows what that essential human need is. So thank you.